Then
Hey, John.
hey,
Hey,
hello, hello.
hey. There you are. Welcome back. We're all waiting for you to come back from class,
Yeah,
man.
sorry for the delay. I'm flying across the island from all the way in Nanyang, which is in Pioneer.
Oh my goodness.
But I made
Far,
it home
far,
just in
far.
time.
Mm. Okay, John. Today they have the fans have
Hi,
requested
yes.
for you to be the one
Uh,
singing.
like that one. Is
Ah.
there a reason why?
You cannot make me laugh.
let's not probe. Let's not probe the reasons. Okay.
I'll tell you more about it later
Sure,
on. Hmm.
sure. What song do you want me to sing?
I think because the last time we did Dream was our very first season one, season three, episode one, together with Belinda. Remember?
Oh, correct,
And now
correct.
we are
Yeah.
revisiting Dreams again, and
Mm.
someone suggested "Dream a Little
Ah.
Dream of Me."
Okay, okay. I know
I
it.
think
I
that's
know
a
it. I
that's a
know it.
beautiful song. So
Okay.
I think you have the right vocals for this, John.
okay, I try.
Hmm.
Shall we?
Go ahead.
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me. Say nighty night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you miss me. And in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of me.
Oh, Miss B, go away, don't disturb me. I have done no wrong, just go away and let me be. My mother and father, they wanted me with their story. Oh, Miss B, go away, don't disturb me. Love and with you, I know the ones that hate and you. Miss B, go away, don't disturb me. I have done no wrong, just go away and let me be. My mother and father, they always mean their story. Miss B, go away, don't disturb me.
I really don't feel good after this place.
Is anyone here? What did you find? You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.
Welcome Friday Night Live, everybody, with your hosts. I'm the Prince of Paranormal, Eugene Tay, and the immortal Jonathan Lin.
Immortal but slightly late. Sorry. It's
Now,
okay. Time is different for me, lah. So yeah.
so people have been asking what's wrong with my lips, right?
Yeah, tell us what's the mystery of your lips? Is it You Cannot Kiss by Miss P?
Is it very clear? Is it? Does it look weird?
I can, I can hear. Some of you say very obvious. Is it you went for like injection or right?
Botox, is it? You think I what
Ah.
Kylie? Someone said Kylie Jenner. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys a story.
Tell
Yeah.
us, tell us.
Last week when we all show you the hantu, the window at Changi, right?
Remember?
Right?
Remember?
Navinet
Ah.
especially, and many of you have said, "Hey Eugene, got to delete the photo because there's a actual hantu there in the video, and if you don't delete it, something bad will happen to you." Remember, you all said that.
I
Now,
remember.
I don't want to jump to conclusion that it is the hantu, but on Monday I was coming out of the shower
Mm.
and I fell. So between standing and hitting the ground at a
Ah.
very huge impact, I don't know what
Mm.
happened in between.
You cannot remember.
I if you ask me, I did not trip.
Okay.
It was not slippery.
Uh,
I honestly felt I was pushed. I didn't even have time to
Oh.
brace. I just went mouth and
Oh.
all. So my teeth and all that has been badly damaged. My gum is hurting. My lips is hurting. I went for God knows how many stitches. I felt it was at least 8 stitches. And
Oh.
I was in A&E from Monday night all the way to Tuesday morning.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Oh wow. Okay.
but if you see me not smiling and not laughing, it's because very painful to smile.
Okay. Okay. No need to try. Don't try.
Yeah.
Just be moody today. Be moody today.
Mm.
So, what makes you reluctant to think it is the hantu? You of all people.
Because it happened in my house. So if I was pushed in
Ah,
my house, which means
ah.
all this artifact I have around me to protect me is useless.
Maybe
Right?
it means something more powerful came.
Or I'm
Mm.
thinking,
Ah.
here's what I have in mind as well. Also, let me thank some people who just gave us a lot of donations today. Miss P, thank you for your 6.9. I see what you did there. Twice you did it. And we have also Forrest. I met Forrest on Monday actually. So Forrest, I met him on Monday, and then after that, this happened. So one of the other thought I had is something came to my body. I went into my house and it was purged out, and that was where I blanked out for all that few seconds, and I fell. So 2 different theories, but either way, I fell. I hurt my face, and it's hurting like a bitch. And John, we can't hear you now. What happened to you? Oh no! All the hantu disturbance have started. Okay, John, can't hear you. All right. Now that he's gone, let me just hold the fort for a minute and tell you guys what we're up to. So today's theme is on dreams, and this was a topic that we have covered in our season 3 first episode, and now we're coming back again with this one because this episode we're looking at dreams in a different way. Dreams where ghosts are trying to send you a message. And I have 2 confessions written in, one from Imagine Dragons, one who wants to be anonymous for good reasons. And John is
Can you hear
back.
me now?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Can.
Yeah, okay.
Mm.
All right. You see, lah, you pass your spirit to me. Lah. Whatever Forest SG passed to you, you have now passed it to me. Okay.
Okay.
Thing.
Requesting for your other mic.
Huh?
Change your mic.
Ah, okay.
Wow,
It's
your-
not the sexy.
No, your mic is
Okay, wait.
no.
I
This
haven't
is
received your request. Okay, never mind. No hurry.
Ah, there. Okay.
Yay.
Okay,
Okay, so
sound-
as I speak now, you will hear me suddenly switch to my sexy voice.
okay. It's now sexy voice already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just give a shout out? I saw a comment just now
Mm.
that I want to respond to.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Katie Carey said randomly that they got a beanie in honor of me. So
Very
please
nice.
send a picture of you and your beanie, Katie Carey.
Yeah. Oh,
Join the beanie gang. Okay.
the Beanie Gang started from Ghost Mortem actually.
Correct. We were beanie buddies, and after that, this person want to grow long hair all, then abandon me.
No,
Okay,
Ghost
but I'm
Mortem is my Beanie buddy mode. I have my Beanie
I
somewhere.
see.
Yeah.
Okay, now this one is the fat lip mode.
Yeah,
Okay.
man. Oh, it's so tough. Okay, tell us why we tell us about today's theme, John.
Okay, wait, hold on. There was a donation that just flashed by.
Maybe
Thank
stay.
you, Mavis. Speedy
Oh, thank
recovery.
you, thank you.
See, please more donation, and then he'll recover in front of our eyes, and he will just get better.
I sat there, right? And then of course Grace was
Ah.
around. She's like, "What the hell happened?" And I was like, "No, no, 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 I'm fine." Then blood just kept coming down. Like, you need to go to hospital. Like, no, 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 I'll be fine. I'm just gonna walk it off. Then blood just keep pouring and pouring and pouring.
Okay, most important question:
Yeah.
have you seen a master
Not yet,
just to
but
check yourself out? Why?
but
Hello,
no, because
dude.
I was homebound in the last few days. But I did
Ah,
contact Murali. He says he's coming back
okay.
down, and on
Ah,
30th of July, which is next weekend, next Sunday,
ah,
I'm going
ah.
for the cleansing. So any of you who wants to go for the
Okay.
cleansing, please join me. It'll be
Okay.
next Sunday
At the beach, is it?
at the beach, the same place, Changi.
Okay. Oh no, have I gone dark? There.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. My cat is sabotaging the broadcast. Okay. All right.
Mm,
Can I say something about the comments?
okay, go ahead.
Okay. So you notice how the comments come very fast and furious. So
Mm.
especially those of you who are new here, right? If you want to say something, if you want to ask a question, if you have an exciting comment about his lips that you really want to be
Oh.
heard, don't laugh, don't smile, Eugene.
Mm.
Okay. You can go to the super chat. How does the super chat work? There is a dollar sign underneath where you type the chat. Click on it. Any amount will do, and it will give us a nice bright highlight so that we will not miss you. Okay.
Mm.
Of course, yeah. I mean, we'll try to catch as many comments as possible, but later when we all get hot and heated in our discussion, very hard to catch everything.
Mm.
Okay. And apart from that, there's a whole group of other people we want to thank.
And they are
And they are, ta-da!
okay. Where they are? Okay, let me tell. Chua Elaine, Alsatian
Yeah.
Adrian Chua, M. Cole
Yeah.
Green,
Yeah.
Zippy Met, Queen Lai,
Yeah.
Saravana, Lim Tek Chuan, Achilles
Yeah.
Aries, Elvin Sensei, and a newcomer this
Oh.
week, VL. If he's
I love
familiar
VL.
to you, because
Mm.
VL was previously in the Wandering Spirits category, he had an upgrade. Oh, Karina J, who's here in the chat, she has been missing for some time. If
Hello.
you find Karina as a name familiar, why? Because at last year's live show, she's our very feisty door bitch. No ticket, no entry. No ticket, no drinks. Joel
Nice.
Go, who's always flying somewhere in different parts of the world. Deborah Confield, JK
Yeah.
To, Linda Hayden, Elix, Justin N, Restless Souls, Tosa Chia, Grace Chai, Candy Chia, Ron, Jack Ong, Kenny Polaris, Nicholas Poa. These are our Patreons. And if you want to be our Patreon as well, go to patreon.com/supernatural confessions, where we give you behind the scenes stuff, unaired footage, and a monthly newsletter where I tell you what the hell is going on with SC and my life. My life regards to SC. My SC and my life, same lah.
That's true. We
Mm.
are your life. Okay,
Mm.
all of you out there. Hey, someone said something very mean.
Mm.
Okay, I don't think it's meant to be mean, but C Joe says Eugene's whole face is just swollen.
Joe, I cannot laugh lah. Ow.
Don't torment him. Don't torment him.
Ow. Okay.
Okay, question from Mr. David. Did you feel a push prior to landing on the floor? Did you check for a handprint on your back?
Okay. So
Did you?
I did not feel a push. I just
Mm.
felt standing, and next thing I know,
And then
I'm on the
blank.
ground, right? So
Mm.
unless I blacked out, which I don't have a history of blacking out, it
Mm.
does the impact of the fall. Even if you fall down, you fall on your
Mm.
knee, you fall on you brace for impact. But the amount of damage I sustain doesn't seem to be oops. It
So
seems to
you
be
literally just when
with
hit
force,
hard, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Before we move on from this, okay, two things. So
Mm.
one, it may be possible that something has bugged you. Okay,
Mm.
right? And I think Guru Marali can help you sort that out.
Mm.
But it's also possible that you really just
Blanked
blacked
out.
out for
Maybe.
some other reason that
Yeah.
is new to your body. Okay, right? You
Mm.
may not have a history, but yeah, okay,
Alright.
it may be starting. Right? When
Mm.
I got a viral fever, also I was in the army. I was in the middle of drill.
Mm.
One moment I was marching. Next moment I was on the floor, and I don't remember falling either. right? And that was a very high fever. So please go to a clinic and get yourself checked.
So your high fever, is it the type that doesn't go away?
I was in Alexandra for 2 weeks after that.
Did the doctor be able
So
to
it
find out
was
why?
no, just a mysterious viral fever. But
Ah,
yeah, so it may not be a permanent condition. It may just be that you're catching something. But
John.
I mean, you're saying you're feeling fine, right? You're
No,
feeling fine
maybe
now, right?
you have been infected by a hantu then when you fell
Uh, uh,
down.
okay. Not interesting, eh? I never speak in strange voices. I never
Uh,
levitate. I never, yeah, not worth it. Not
hmm.
worth it. Patrina, thank you for your donation. Eugene Tay, get well soon. Please see doc if you're not okay. See, everyone is saying that. Okay, so yes, please tell this dude to go and see a doctor, as well as Guru Murali at the same time. Okay, we will all wait for the
Hmm.
results.
Okay, so John, we have a couple of interesting confessions today. Today's all about
Oh,
dreams,
nice.
and we have a very special guest. I can't wait for you to meet her. She's currently
Mm.
right now on
Ah,
standby behind the scenes with us, surrounded by spirits.
ayo,
Ah,
so exciting.
but for
Oh
the
no.
first confession we're going to start tonight, this is
Mm.
coming from one of our very own SC family, Imagine
Ah.
Malayans.
Oh, hello.
Right? And it came in just last night, this morning at 3 a.m.
Wow,
I read
wow,
it
wow.
and
I
I
like it.
felt this was so touching.
Mm.
I want to open the show with this story.
So touching, huh? Who touched you?
Mm. So usually,
Mm.
I would lend my very sexy voice, but today, John, you have to do all the reading for us.
Sure, can I stand? Yeah, I stand in for you. Okay.
Oh, oh, oh.
All right. This is from Imagine Merlions, and it's called "I Love You, Thank You." Hey, Merlion, can you come out for a while? You have a call from your mother. I was at my new school's orientation camp when I received the news that my beloved grandma had slipped into a coma and was rushed to the hospital. I dropped out of the camp immediately and rushed to her side, with tears flowing uncontrollably down my cheeks the entire cab journey to the hospital. We knew her time was coming soon, but I thought she would be able to last until I had returned from my orientation camp. She would pass on a few days later. She never woke up from her coma to hear me tell her that I love her and to thank her for looking after me and bringing me and my siblings up. That was my last regret. I never got to express in person my love and gratitude while she was still alive. But even though I didn't get to see her last living moments, I was lucky enough to see her first moments after her death. Shortly after her passing was certified by the doctors, my grandma's body was wheeled to a small holding room at the end of the ward. We said our last tearful goodbyes as our new reality of life without Amma slowly sinked in. When we were done, the elder family members left the room to discuss the next steps to take in the funeral arrangements. Us kids stood outside the room and waited around in case the elders needed us to run some errands. I stood there, staring at the door that separated us from my grandma's lifeless body. Amma has passed away, I told the other part of me that was still in disbelief. She's gone. But just then, I saw my grandma fly, and I mean fly, through the door of the holding room and then towards the right, through the walls, into the corridor of the hospital ward. She was covered in a silvery blue glow, and she looked like she was radiating in her own light. She had the biggest smile on her face. And in that instant that I saw her, I had a feeling deep inside me of pure happiness and the words in my mind that said, I'm free. I think that was the moment her soul had just left the body after being trapped in a coma for a few days and had discovered the newfound freedom of movement and perhaps even the ability to fly around. But that very short glimpse of her brought great comfort to me. At least I know for real that she is happy now. I would catch a few more glimpses of her throughout her funeral. You know how at every Chinese funeral they will adorn a chair behind the altar with the deceased's clothes and a portrait in front of the coffin? I saw a shadow figure wearing grandma's favorite blouse sitting in that chair multiple times throughout the 5-day wake. I would then go up to the chair at the altar and whisper the 5 words I wished I had said to her while she was alive. I love you. Thank you. And I really hope that she would be able to hear me. The last time I saw her was almost a year after she had passed on. It was a Saturday morning and I was asleep in my room. It's one of those dreams where I was lucid and aware of my actions in the dream. In that dream, I was being awoken by a strange buzzing sound in my room. I sat up in my bed and saw that a window was starting to appear on the blank wall directly in front of me. The window was made of wood, similar to those you see in the old Chinatown shop houses. After the window had fully materialized, it opened by itself into my room, and behind the window, you could see nothing but a vast darkness that stretched like it went on forever. Occasionally, someone would walk past the window on the other side, and they would be wearing olden day clothes, like what you will see on MediaCorp's period dramas of pre-war Singapore, like 雾锁南洋. But strangely, even though the place behind the window was devoid of any light, the people who walked past looked like they were self-illuminating, and they had their own glow of light. The closest visual example I can give you is like the scenes from The Further in the Insidious movie franchise. Anyway, I was just looking into this window and wondering what the hell was a magic window doing in my room. And then I saw a familiar figure of an old lady walk into the frame of the window. She turned around to face me and said, "Hello. It's Amma." I kept calling for her in my dream. "Amma! Amma!" She just smiled and waved and said to me gently, "Hello, boy. Hello." I guess the regrets I previously had still ran deep because even in my dreams, I instinctively shouted back those words again. "Amma, I love you. Thank you. Thank you for looking after me when I was young and watching me grow up. I love you, Amma." I shouted incessantly as if this was my last chance to let her know how I felt. She smiled contentedly and replied, "I know. I know. I love you too. Amma has to go now. Okay? Bye bye. Bye bye." And she took a step back and faded into the void as the magic window closed itself and disappeared. I then jolted myself awake to find myself seated in my bed like it was in my dream. A dream. It was all a dream, but it felt so real. Was Amma really here? I got up and went outside. It's earlier than I would usually wake up on a weekend, but I couldn't go back to sleep after that emotional dream. I decided to turn on the TV in the living room and wait for my siblings to wake up later in the day. Oddly enough, about 5 to 10 minutes later, my sister walked out of her room earlier than usual too. She looked at me, surprised to see me awake so early. And then she said, "I just dreamt of Amma." Strange. Me too. We shared our dreams with one another and then settled down to watch the TV. But a few minutes later, my brother also walked out of this room. I casually looked at him and asked him if he too had dreamt of our grandma. And he looked at us with puzzlement and asked, "How did you know?" We all dreamt of her too.
Wow.
Thanks for that, Malayan.
Wow.
That was a lovely, lovely story.
Very dusty in my room. Ah,
Thanks for sharing. Oh, wow. I love this. I love this a lot.
powerful, huh? Opening. I tell you this one.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I see you guys. And I think everyone has been saying just now when you're reading,
Mm.
John, you probably didn't see the messages.
Sorry, I missed out.
They
Yeah.
felt you did justice to this story with the very emotional reading and rendition.
Thank
Mm.
you. Thank you. My pleasure. Wow. It's all in the story lah. That took me somewhere. Okay.
Mm.
Thank you. Yeah, really. Wow. Whew.
Imagine
Like
I
a
read
nice
it last
feeling
night,
about it.
3 a.m., 3 a.m.
Ah.
I read it. I was like, oh, okay, wow, this one got to go in.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
But also today, we do have a lot of other very powerful stories that,
Mm.
not. I mean, of course, we want to push the boundary, but I'm very glad that we didn't have to purposefully or do anything out of the ordinary. The people we met, the stories that we get, have been interesting. We talk about ghost marriage before, and we talk about dreams. Today we have a guest with us who's not just talking about the story, because this has happened in her family.
Oh.
So ghost marriage is real, ladies and gentlemen.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we're gonna bring on our guest today. Her name is Eunice Kwang, and why you might find her name familiar is because Eunice Kwang is helping me moderate a chat group on the Facebook group called Facebook Lounge. So stuff that don't get talked about on the Facebook group itself, because Facebook group is meant for the confessions, and people just want to chit chat, right? The Facebook group Lounge is where you will go, and that's where Eunice and Ernest and Ivan is moderating the page.
Okay.
All right. And to help me welcome Eunice onto the show with us. She is currently surrounded by spirits. Eunice, tell us, where the hell are you?
Hey,
I'm surrounded
Eunice.
by spirits. Okay.
Wow.
Hi,
Spirits
good
of what?
evening. They're very spiritual. Look at it. This is called gin. Best gin in Spain.
Ow.
And I'm drinking it. Okay, I have to really do this, Cheers. Because it's Friday night. We really, really need a drink. We really, really need a drink. And we actually, how to say, after a few drinks, I think I can talk more and I can elaborate more. I maybe I'm more articulate or more animated that way.
Okay.
Sure. Anything
Cheers.
that gets you in the mood. Okay. Yes. Please. Okay. Wait. Before you slowly drink some more. Okay. We got a few super chats to say hi to before they run away. Okay. Serin Tan. Thank you. She tells Eugene speedy recovery and have a safe and blessed weekend. Okay, I think the blessed weekend is for all of us. Okay, speedy recovery is for you. Okay, Wichi Umeko, a little extra to help Eugene get well soon.
Thank you, Yumeko.
You see, it better work, huh?
Mm.
Okay, and Eunice also gave us money. Hello,
Yes.
Eunice. Yeah, thank you. I'll try a few more time. Yeah.
Okay.
Then Rai says, "Oh, for your lips, Eugene." Mwah.
Aw.
Okay. Are you giving him your lips in exchange if he needs a lip transplant? Okay, Rai. And also from Iley XT. With two hearts for
Aw.
eyes. Okay, thank you so much. All right. So is that everyone? Did I miss anyone? No. Okay, that's all our super chats. Okay, come back to our special guest. Okay, Eunice. So finish drinking, huh? Okay.
Oh, cannot finish one. I hear so many.
Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you meet Eugene? How did you get sucked into this circle?
Obviously, I was a few years back. You remember MCO? We were like so bored at home. So eventually, you go and look for these Hantu groups, lah. Okay, and SC just came up, and seriously, I was very amazed by all the knowledge that you share there. I want to mention one special person, that Uncle Juan Ramirez, the one who
Juan
shares
Ramirez.
yes, the uncle, he actually shares a lot of interesting stories. And seriously, these are stories that is lost in time. We really forget about where we are from, our roots, all these stories, and it got me so interested that I kept on coming back for more, like asking him for more stories. And of course, there's Sophia, if I'm not wrong. She is one feisty lady who can really fight off those things. And you get more interested and you want to learn more. So I kept coming back.
Nice.
And eventually permanent member of the group, and then suddenly got group chat some more, the SC Lounge. And there are some very funny individuals inside, I have to mention. Kind got, funny got, scammers also got. So I started to message Eugene, hello, come on lah, delete this fella, keep this fella out. So eventually we just got connected, and spiritually, I'm waiting for you guys to come up to KL. I'm gonna make you guys drunk. If not,
we must.
I have very special artisanal gin here. You cannot get anywhere in Singapore or anywhere in the world. We are like one of the so important in Asia. Okay. I'm gonna make you drunk on this, Eugene. I'm keeping one bottle for you.
Okay.
I have to say, okay, not only are you controlling all the people in the lounge, and then now here you are offering us alcohol. You have truly become a lounge hostess.
Ow, ow.
Hello.
Okay.
This is called spiritual, okay? You must be spiritual to
Okay.
share about spirits, okay?
Okay, so you are a spiritual lounge hostess. Okay.
Yeah, okay, I'm damn spiritual,
SLH.
I tell you.
SLH. Okay, yeah. Oh, a donation from Jason Lim. It says Eugene looks like Tony Leung. Wow.
有冇我?
Get well soon. Okay.
Which one? 梁家輝 or 梁朝偉? There's two
Yeah, I
Tony
don't know.
Leung, you know?
Yeah, please clarify which Tony Leung. Leung Ka Fai or Leung Chiu Leung? What's the other one?
梁朝偉, the
Leung Chiu
handsome one, the
Wai.
chunky one.
Are you
Oh.
the Shang-Chi Leung or the other Leung? And Cassie To gives 5 star. I don't know for who. Okay, am I? Thank you, Cassie. Thank you, Cassie. Wow. Okay. I'm seeing a strange question. Our station is asking how to join this group. I assume you mean the lounge, right?
Lounge. It's on
How to join
Facebook
this
group.
lounge? Ah,
I believe if you go into Facebook group on the right side, it says chat room. That's where it is.
Okay.
But Alsatian, you know what? I'll just invite you in later lah.
Okay, but
Mm.
go and look for it. Okay.
Who asked who is a mummy?
Huh? Who is a mummy? Is she a mummy instead? Oh, I said you
Oh,
lounge
Of course,
hostess,
I'm
you're
not
the
right?
bound by
you're the
anything.
mama son lah,
Ah.
mama son. Not that
No,
mummy
no,
lah,
no,
the
no.
mama
You
son.
want, I can get, but I'm not mummy.
Okay. We are clarifying it's Leong Chu Wai. Okay. Is it the
Mm.
lover?
Okay,
No lah,
okay.
the lover is not Leong Chu Wai lah.
Yung
Right?
kafai.
Yeah, so please clarify.
Mm.
Okay. Daniel Q, love your show. Keep up the good work. Yeah, flex.
Mm.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so tell us, Eunice, what is your personal supernatural experience? Do you have the third eye? Were you
Actually, I
haunted
have a
as a
few.
child? Your
I have
overall
a
lah.
few.
Ah,
Um, like I said during MCO, I've been doing a lot of meditation and I can open my third eye chakra.
oh, okay.
I open, okay? So
Ah,
I see colors, I see auras because I send a message to the universe that I do
mm,
not want to see faces because
okay.
I don't think I have the heart for it.
Mm,
But since
mm,
we are
mm,
on the topic of dreams and ghost marriages,
mm,
okay, this is something I hold very dear to my heart
mm,
because it happened in my family.
mm.
Okay,
Please tell us.
should I start now?
Yes.
Okay. Many years back, way before I was born, this was in the late 1950s, early
Mm.
1960s.
Okay.
My dad has a brother. I call him my apek lah, supposed to be
Mm.
apek lah, because he's older than my dad. Who did not make it through his 20s. I think he was like 20 years old when he passed on
Mm.
because of a ruptured appendix. You know, those days, medical attention is like so bad.
Mm.
You won't have you won't know. You think it's stomach ache and all that, right? The doctor don't know until it's too late. So of course, he died without getting married and all that. So a few years after his death, my grandparents one night, I got two grandmas, okay, and my granddad, they dreamt about my uncle,
Mm.
and my uncle told them, look, I've met someone in the afterlife. I want to get married because I really like her.
Oh.
Can you all please go to the place where I was buried, which is the that time we were in Klang, eh?
Clang.
So there's
Okay.
one cemetery plot in Klang, very famous. It's called the Simpang Lima Cemetery. Okay, please go there. The parents of the lady side, right, will be there. My girlfriend's family will be there looking for us too. And he gave
Oh.
the surname and all that. So sure enough, the next day they all wake up, no, and then they discuss with my father that they had this dream. So my dad bring them there at the certain hour that he actually asked them to go lah.
Mm.
So they went there, and sure enough, the family, the in-laws, was there looking for us.
Wow.
And
Okay.
the same thing, no, they said, oh, my daughter gave us a dream that she met a boyfriend and they want to get married. And I'm telling you, I shared these stories in one of my Hantu group before. Someone skeptically asked me, oh, maybe they were lovers before he passed on. Okay, what I found out after I shared this story, right, was this auntie of mine, she passed away way before my uncle did. And her way of passing is very interesting one. Someone took her photo and gone to one jarum there. and when the jarum rusted, right, and she died. It was like a how to say, a careless joke gone wrong lah.
Oh, okay.
So they did all the ritual where, okay, I have to phrase this properly, yeah, because I did something very wrong when I spoke to Eugene that day.
Oop. Okay.
Rooster and a
Oops.
hen was involved to go and do the ritual. They have to hold, one have to hold the rooster, the other have to hold the hen, right? And they did all this ritual where there's a lot of burning of the effigies, and tea was offered to my grandparents and the in-laws, and they were happily
Okay.
married, supposedly, yeah. So there's a tablet there in my house when I grow up, right? There's an ancestral tablet. And according to my dad, his firstborn, because my dad is the younger brother, he cannot get married before the elder brother, ma.
Right.
So the firstborn child, right, like my brother and my elder sister, cannot address my parents as father and mother. They have to call Astok and Asam, because they were given to my uncle as kids.
Okay.
So the ritual is like that lah. So until now lah, the yearly offerings of effigies and all that, right? I have to address them because now I'm the one left doing it. I'm the
Right.
youngest in the family, and
Okay.
some of them turned Christians and all that. So I'm the only sibling doing this. So we did that, and I always have this vision. They are very happy that I'm doing all this for my mom, on behalf of my mom. That is the first story of the ghost marriage.
Okay. Wait. I
Someone say
pause.
my
I
audio
pause
very
you.
bad.
I pause you a moment. Yeah. Where's your mic? Is it? Oh, it's on your in your ear. Okay.
He tried to take it out and then talk into it. Let's see if it's
Could
clearer.
you hold it in front of you?
Is it
'Cause-
better this way?
Yes, I think so.
Try again.
'Cause we will hear your voice more. Keep going. Keep going.
Is it better this way?
Still echoey. I don't even think it's recording from your earpiece. It might be recording from somewhere else.
Yeah. You
Cannot
try.
be what?
Yeah, you're the same volume no
Same
matter where you
volume.
move the mic. You put your mic away. Put your mic down. Put your mic down. Okay. Talk
Can you
normally.
hear this?
Same.
You sound the
Can you
same.
hear this?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound the same. That means it's your laptop that's picking us up.
No, I'm using the iPad.
I think it's the
Eh?
iPad that's picking it up, not
It's
your.
it's your iPad mic.
Let me
Okay,
try.
let's
Is
see
it
what we can
better
do.
this way?
We fiddle a bit.
Hello. Is it better this way?
Okay,
You need
so
to request.
people are saying that your background is very disturbing and distracting. Okay, so everyone, she's now at a wine bar where
One bar.
there, yeah. So there are other guests around, and she's unable to chase them away. She's sitting in the furthest corner, but we can still unfortunately capture the background sound.
Hold on.
Wow.
Dex.
Drama.
Dex. Hai Tai San.
Okay. Okay. Maybe if you act
Is it
possessed, they'll
better
all
this
run
way?
away.
Okay,
Ah.
much better now.
Yes, nicer. Very good. Okay. Can.
Okay. So
Okay, we
that
try
is
our
the
best.
first story, which is it happened in my family.
Okay.
And the second story I am supposed to share,
Mm.
it is actually with someone I've known like throughout my teenager life and in my 20s. So can you all hear?
Yes, better than just now.
Okay.
Mm.
So now what am I supposed to do?
Tell us. Just tell us.
Answer question or what?
Now tell us both stories, then I think we'll discuss them together lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The second story actually belongs to this auntie of my very close friend. Let's call her Auntie Jane. Auntie Jane just passed on recently, about 1 year plus back during the COVID times. Okay.
Okay.
Auntie Jane grew up in this Bukit Mertajam, Penang.
Penang.
Okay. Okay. Growing up, her niece, which is my close friend, always asked me to invite me to their house and all that. And Auntie Jane is someone very, very elegant looking, very pretty. Even when before she passed on, when she's like in her 70s, you can still see that her features are very, very, very pretty. So I can imagine when she was younger, she must be a very beautiful woman. So it happened when she was about 15, if I'm not wrong. And I asked her this question is because every time we go out for dinner or meals, she would actually set an extra set of plates and bowls and all that, right? Utensils. Set an extra set, and she will always order extra. So being me, I was 18 that time, right? We were there to ask, Auntie, why why you always do this? Why so weird So in the beginning, she kept quiet, but after a while, we are getting closer. She told me she was 15 when this happened. During Hungry Ghost Month, they will actually go to all these places with the Chinese opera troops. They call it the Tian Nahi. They will go there, to watch and all that. And she will go backstage, and when our grandmothers will tell us, go there, you cannot simply talk, you cannot simply do all those taboos. I think she actually went to one of the altar and she saw, wow, this guy so handsome and you die so young, what a pity. And that was what she did. And jialat ready lor. Because she starts to have nightmares. She starts to have night terrors. And our house, especially in Malaysia, you see a lot of houses, right? The terraces, we have like sits outside the driveway where you can just sit outside the gate and to talk to your friend. She starts to go out there in the middle of the night and she starts combing her hair and she starts to sing. In the beginning, the family thought she was sleepwalking, but it gets worse. So after a week or two like that, the parents cannot tahan already. They quickly bring her to a temple.
Yep.
And sure enough, the master there said that something is latching onto her. She broke a taboo, and the guy wants to marry her, wants her. Whether you like it or not, by dead or alive, okay?
Wow.
Wants her.
Okay.
So they negotiate. I said they negotiate. And again, a ghost marriage was performed. A rooster was involved. Okay, they married and all that. Okay, please, do not believe what you see on those Netflix that goes bright and all that. It's also dramatized. What she told me is like the ghostly husband only came to her in her dreams. There is no sex involved. Okay. They don't do all the funny things you see on TV and all that. But they were married, and her earthly life, right? She still can take in husband one, can take in boyfriends one. She is okay. She was married and divorced before. Okay.
Right.
There was no taboos like, oh yeah, the ghostly husband will get jealous and all that. No.
Don't have.
Instead, the uncle actually, I call him uncle actually say Auntie Jane many times. Many a times, she was roped into all these what we call that investment schemes and all that.
Okay.
He will give her dreams or give her hints, right? That this fella is not trustable. Do not do this. Do not do that. In fact, save her many times.
Wow. Okay. So he will detect scams for her lah.
Yeah, those days in the 80s, right? You have all those kutu scams and all that, right? Somehow she will manage to escape every time. Her friends will turn her, but she will just escape.
Okay.
And to me, this is very interesting. I was very young that time, all sorts of questions are there to ask, and thinking about it is very uncouth of me. But I did ask her, your earthly husbands, means the ex-husbands, do they see him and all that? I think this is what I remember after I spoke to Eugene. I think one of the husbands was not very good to her, and the fella really haunted him. The fella wake up with marks on his neck and the hand.
Ayo.
I remember something like that. I called my friend and I double confirmed with her. She said, yeah, that happened.
And then after that,
he was like sort of a protective guardian angel. And up till 3 years back when I last see her, right, she's still doing the thing.
Okay.
And now I told you I was like meditating and I opened my third eye chakra, right? I can actually feel his presence. It's not scary, it's actually very warm. It's like someone, a relative, someone you know. It's not scary at all,
Right.
But of
Mm.
course, that being me, right? I'm so scared. I will like put all the chopsticks and all that.
Yeah.
I'm scared, okay? But no, I say, oh, sorry, uncle, I'm here to visit auntie. I'm so sorry.
Mm.
I'm
Mm.
disturbing you. I'm so sorry. No, I will always say that, because I'm so scared.
Mm.
But
Mm.
I feel his presence, even especially when we eat. Her
Mm.
favorite, it's always tea time. We have a high tea at her house, all the
Ah.
kueh and all that, right?
Mm.
I will feel him sitting nearby one.
Ah. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
Now that you mention all this, right? So I had this something similar to share as well. Uh,
Mm.
so for ghost marriage, the one I was informed by Thomas, it,
Mm.
it's it's the same as well. Having a ghost marriage, people think, oh, it's very bad, it's very scary. But
Mm.
the people who have gone through the ghost marriages, like in this example of Eunice's friend,
Mm.
the ghostly spouse actually protects the living
Mm.
spouse. So it,
Yep.
it is said that the living spouse will have good fortune, will have no
Mm.
accidents, or people cannot cheat them. And
Mm.
like abusing husband, right? Then the ghost
Yep.
husband come and wall out the fella. So I think we should not that I'm trying to encourage this lah, but it
Mm.
does sound like having a ghost spouse isn't such a bad deal after all,
Well, I guess it's the same as human marriage, right?
Yeah.
There's good ones, there's bad ones. There's those that are protecting you, and there's those that exploit you, right? Cool.
the thing is, in my point of view,
Ah,
she actually have a guardian angel next to
correct.
her,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
doesn't drain the yang energy like
Mm.
Correct.
people
Mm.
like to speculate.
Correct.
No,
Mm.
it does not. And
No.
I in a way, the way I felt that his presence nearby,
Mm.
it was actually very warm. It's like a family member, something familiar. It's not
Mm.
scary. It's not sinister.
Yeah.
And when it's sinister, you have that feeling, right? You'll be very scared. No, it's actually
Mm,
very warm and fuzzy all over. So I don't think it's that bad.
Actually, I
mm.
have a question. And maybe you asked her before, but does she feel his presence?
Yes, she can later on in her years,
Ah.
when she was growing older, she said she can actually see him.
Oh. Mm.
Mm.
The
Okay.
silhouette of him walking by, it's like
Mm.
when she was like half asleep,
Ah.
see
Okay.
him darting around.
Mm.
So on the topic about draining the young energy, right? Some of you were asking, what is the price to be paid? Now, from my
Mm.
understanding, there is no price to be paid in the way that you would think of in the like the black magic way where you have to pay your
Yeah.
soul and everything.
It's
In a
not a curse.
No,
It's not a
it is not a
curse.
curse.
Yeah.
When you bind your soul in the afterlife, it's almost similar to your real life marriage, and you're sharing your
Mm.
DNA. You are a soulmate. You're bound in that kind of
Mm.
uh your universe. There
Mm.
is no price that I know of, and so far there
Mm.
is no drawback. But the question is, someone is asking, like KS is asking, what
Mm.
happens when you die? Because
Ah.
your ghost husband is waiting for you to bind in the afterworld, and
Mm.
your real world husband, when he dies, is he bound to you as well? Will you now have a menage a trois in the cosmos?
Huh? Oh, that one is the X already.
No
That
lah,
one
but for
is
those people who are not
but
divorced.
mm. I'm
Mm.
I'm assuming that
Do a seance, I go and do a seance and I let you know.
Okay.
I seriously don't know. I
Mm.
I
never,
think
I never tried to ask.
I think for most earthly marriages, right, it is after all till death do us part, right? So sorry, expire ROM expire already. Okay. Then that's why you can meet another partner in the other world, right? And then
Ah.
request a cemetery a wedding in the graveyard, right?
Mm.
So I don't think that one counts. But
Well,
a ghost wedding, that
I
one
think,
different, right?
I think the first one, right, which is with that ghostly uncle
Mm,
counts because they did all the rituals
correct.
and
Yeah.
everything, and you're bounded by that contract instead of the earthly contract.
Because
Contract.
that one is a spiritual contract,
ah,
right? And that applies. And
Yeah.
that one lasts longer. That one lasts longer.
yeah,
You
But
yeah.
in
know?
my heart, lah, I'm just hoping, right, they are
Mm,
happily together now because
mm.
after so many years, Auntie lived a very long life. She's like
That's good.
81 when she
Yeah.
passed on 2 years back. So it's
Mm.
Mm,
like so many years. You think about it, 15 years old until 80 something.
mm.
Mm.
But I mean,
Uh,
I want to say that it's not about the rules of the ghost marriage. I think that, I'm sure there are some rules, but I don't think that there's a template to how it works out. But I think this particular story, this second story, right, really, really strikes me because it started with a real empathy and a real connection, right? Because you mentioned that she went backstage at the wayang, she broke a taboo.
It's like she like was so young.
Correct.
Ayo,
That's
what
the
a pity,
difference.
you know.
Correct. So she treated that. No. She should totally have said that because that's exactly what the person fell in love with. No, it's why
Uh,
that's why he fell in love because here's a person who felt empathy, sympathy, affection rather than saying "Wow, see there," or like "Oh, ghost," or "So scary." But here's a person who thought
the
of
the template from the temple, right? The
yeah,
tablet, right? She actually
mm,
brought it to her house. So I remember seeing
yeah.
that, but the picture is fading already, so I cannot really see the face.
So she saw a tablet, she saw a shrine, but she looked
Mm.
beyond the shrine and saw the young man as a human person, as a real person. I think if I was a ghost hanging around, I would be very moved by that response.
I think for
And
me
for
is I think for me
Then
it's
of course,
more like the
wow,
even the
sweet
ghost I'm
lah.
like, oi, she find me 人刀 leh. Hey, 我人刀 leh. Alright, no, I'll be like, walao, I see I grab already, lor. You think I 人刀, you know?
That one, okay lah. Okay, so I'm a bit more sentimental. He is, yeah, okay.
Alright, and Grace, others people like Grace is saying, maybe she has a ghost husband. Secretly, she never tell me. And the ghost
to mention
ghost
Maybe who
husband
has a
pushed
ghost
me
husband?
down. Grace, my wife
Oh,
lah.
you are.
Grace law. That's why Eugene like that law.
Oh, that's why. Ow. Okay, so let's go to the. I think there's some comments are very nice. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Won't the ghost be restricted to visit human realm only during the 7 month on ghost marriages? Hanjay, no. So ghost marriages is a special kind of binding. In fact, you don't even have to be. You don't even have to have ghost marriages. There are something called spiritual marriages in our realm, where you are going beyond the ROM. You go to a temple, you tie a red string, the monk can you do it, or you bind your soul together. So this is not just you're supposed to look beyond your human shell and transcend to a different realm. And also, I think
And in fact, based off bouncing off that point, segue, right? If you come to our Walk with Hantu Changi tour, you will hear a story that is exactly about two living people who wanted to stay bound forever on the other side and what they did to become a couple in the afterlife.
all
But
right,
that one you can only hear if you come for the tour.
but
Don't want to tell you now.
I just saw one comment, right?
ah,
Leslie was saying all ghosts have scary features when they unveil themselves. Have you actually seen a real one? I have seen
no,
them.
no.
It's not as scary as we think.
I think,
It's not as
but this
scary
one
as
is
we think.
not ghost lah. This one is the spirit of a recently deceased lah. So I think it's not the usual, you know, hantu with not the jinn lah. You know that. Yeah, I don't know. But then again, I didn't see.
I think they're never as scary as the movies try to make it because the movies make money from scaring
Yes.
you. But I
It's
think the ghosts have
traumatizing, man.
yeah, the ghosts earn no money from scaring you, so they'll just be what they are, lah. You know. But your fear is that's another
Okay.
story, lah. What you
I I I
imagine
I
you are
I
seeing.
I go off road a bit, okay, a recent story. Okay. I've not been to the cinema for a long time, and because of MCO and all that. So about 2 months back, when Guardians of the Galaxy is on,
Okay.
I went to this cinema in PJ. It's in a mall,
Ah.
and for all my life, right, because I already sent a message to the universe that I do not want to see their face because I am scary cat. Okay, I'm damn scared. I don't want to see all that. But I was very sick that day. I was coughing, but then tickets were bought and all that. So no choice that I was with my mask and all that. I was there, and this is the norm. Before I go to any movies, before the movie start, I will go to the washroom first, and it was like 8:30 show. I was washing my hand, and suddenly, my back was standing up. All the Hulu Roma cats are standing up, goosebumps. I turned back in the cubicle next to the one I just went to, like that on the face. The typical white baju, everything. I tell you all the swear words that I know. came out. I tell you all the F word. I know all the. I said, what the heck is this? I'm
Wow.
just trying to watch a movie. Leave me in peace, okay? Then
Wow.
I got my Palo Santo spray in my bag. I started spraying. I was like, go 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 go. Then after that, it's like, but of course, after all the anger, right?
Mm.
I was thinking it this way. Maybe she needs help.
Mm.
That's why she showed herself there because being able to see them, they also damn sway one. We are
Yeah.
sway when we see them, right? Actually, they see us also, they damn sway one, you know.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
in
Okay.
my heart, I was telling them, there's only one thing I can help you. I'm going to copy more scriptures and
Mm.
dedicate them to you. That's the
Yep.
only thing I can do. Please
Mm.
do not disturb me.
I finally cracked the mystery. I think based on this story, I realize now no wonder all these ghosts have the hair covering the face.
So they're ugly.
Because they know they are scary and they're trying to spare you the ugliness. I cover. Okay, so
No
Sadako is
lah, I
actually
don't think they're
scary
like that.
channels.
Ah.
Okay, a big thank you to Achilles Aries,
Thank
who thinks
you.
that we are your favorite YouTube channel. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank
Uh,
you.
okay. If you enjoy all these confessions,
Mm,
do note that all these confessions are from real people,
mm,
and because they're from real people, we do need your help. So if you have a confession or you know
mm,
someone who has that, please get in touch with us. And with that, I'd
mm.
like to play your message. Supernatural Confessions was created as a safe space for people to share their paranormal encounters. If you or someone you know has a strange encounter to share, we want to hear about it. You can type it to us, send us a voice memo, or even meet me for a face to face interview.
I don't wanna get in trouble.
Visit supernaturalconfessions.com for more info.
But every time I hear you laugh, I get into trouble.
Mm.
All right, we are back.
All right, man. Okay. Now, so don't forget, please send in your confessions because that is the lifeblood of this channel. All right. And otherwise, there'll be nothing for Achilles Aries to watch on his favorite channel except Eugene's lip. Okay. So, let's get back to the dream topic. Right.
Mm.
So, we've had three confessions. Right. So, we have a very, I like how you can send dreams to both parties to arrange a wedding. I think it's very organized. It's super organized. I wonder if there's like a ghost matchmaker, who arranges these things. And it actually worked. It worked. Both families turned up on the right time. I mean, even in the human world, sometimes you can't get things coordinated so
Mm.
well. So that was very powerful.
Remember, this was in the late 50s, right? Where the
Where
technology is so limited.
true.
You have
That
to
means
go to
actually.
the Tapopo, the store there, right, to go and call someone. Not everyone's house got a phone.
So I
Color
wonder
TV was not invented yet.
I wonder if they had to send dreams because there was no other technology, lah, right? And nowadays the ghosts will just interfere with your phone. They interfere with your phone, and then suddenly a mysterious WhatsApp will appear, and say, please come to the cemetery with a chicken, get ready.
No
So
lah, it's actually the cemetery is to meet the in-laws. The
uh,
chicken thingy was when the date was set. They go and do the ritual. Lor. The chicken
mm.
is actually for the for
Where
the
was the
for the
ritual
for
held?
the
Was it
ritual.
also held at the cemetery?
No, it was at a temple. You
Okay.
need to have some deities to be in charge of it. One.
Okay.
I forgot to actually copy the photos. I promised Eugene this. I'm so sorry, I forgot. There were some effigies that have to be burned. Certain effigies, yeah,
Mm,
you have to burn and you have to prepare, don't know, like rice and all that, right?
mm, mm,
Which I
mm, mm.
remember seeing photos of that.
Right. Ah, okay. Wait, sorry. I just want to say, see, Joe says that he has some army incidents he wants to share, but he's afraid that they may be too short and insubstantial for a confession. Just share simply because sometimes, when we're talking about these themes and topics, right, it's the little stories that help us build a bigger picture. We can use your
Right, this
stories.
nothing is too short,
Correct. Yeah. You
Well,
know.
gentlemen out there, so this is Eunice Kwang. Nothing is too short. Get in touch with her, please.
Yeah, and Isabel Rosta is saying too difficult to type down. No problem. Eugene will be there to listen to you, record it for you. His lip is swollen, so he can't talk too much. So he will just listen. Okay. Okay. I want to share this one. Okay. Can Daphne just share something about her grandma? I got into bed with my grandma. She was never disturbed by such apparitions for many years till she passed on. Granny was relieved from her rheumatism the year after. Oh, okay. I'm quite confused. Now I don't know. Oh no. Okay. Okay, definitely. Please retype your story because I'm very curious what it is. But I think I got lost. I don't want to misrepresent. So please tell us again, Daphne, what happened to your grandma and her rheumatism.
Oh, okay, we also got a new sub today. It's T Clocks, all the way from sunny California.
Oh, hello, T Clocks.
We give a
First time, ah?
Yeah, first time, new sub.
All right, thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Ooh. Welcome to the Nothing Is Too Short channel. All right.
Oh.
Okay. I want to get back to the
Yeah,
dreams thing.
dream.
So my question, I guess, is, are the dreams something which are sort of available to everyone who's on the other side? It's just something that you can sort of, I have a message to do, right? Is it commonplace, or is it something that only certain, spirits with a strong intent, can every person who's deceased come and visit in their dreams? I
thought about this for a long time also. So I'm glad you
please
asked.
share. Yeah.
Is this? I believe, the whole world, the living and the dead and the divine and the underworld, they're all connected by intent. They're all connected by energy fluctuations, by frequencies. The living can connect to the dead through psychic. The living can connect to another living through psychic energy, and so can the dead connect to us. But not every dead can talk to the living.
All right.
So sometimes some desire, some intent. Oh wait, let me.
Hello.
Wait.
You all go to Petaling Street in KL, right? She has a very nice wine bar there. This is Priscilla.
Can't see
Hello,
her.
Priscilla.
Hey, Priscilla, come lower, come lower.
I can see one corner.
Come
Priscilla.
over, cannot see you.
Okay.
There, this is Priscilla.
Hello.
Hello.
Priscilla. Hi. Okay.
Now you see where I hang out in wine bars, right?
Okay. John, we gotta go.
Okay,
We gotta go
sorry,
to
yes.
KL already.
Okay, Eugene. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, you were saying.
So-
Grace, don't kill me.
Your ghost husband.
Okay, you were
Okay.
saying.
So having this connection, right, allows. Sometimes you got, okay. So take for example the living. They say that you need to manifest. You got to want something so bad that it will come true.
Yes.
So you take that representation to the underworld. I'm dead, but I want to pass a message so badly. I would be able to somehow reach across, manifest. And if I have a bond with the living, it's easier for me.
Right.
Right. And if the living is also attuned or astute, it's even easier. So a lot of things must happen in order for that dream to happen. There could be some people, like today's featured confessor, everyone in his family, from his wife to his mom to his brother, all saw and heard things. He just woke up and go like, I didn't see shit.
Right.
So if you get a person like
The
that,
bond is, yeah.
the ghost could be reaching out the right energy. She could be screaming at you, and you're not receiving. So everything has to be aligned for that to click and happen. So
Something there.
yeah,
When it's blood related, right? Especially when it's your family, I think it's more relevant and it's easier that way.
Yeah.
Although I never dream of my late father, lah. Kana sai 20 years don't want to see me. But still, yeah, that I hope you're hearing this. But the thing is, when it's blood related, it's easier. Can I share a story that I just heard last night during, I always share about this honky host that actually he will tell you supernatural stories and all that. He used to be a host of this show called Kwai Tan, okay, his name is Leong Si Ho. Okay, she was sharing, right? You know who is Ran Shaw, right? The boss of TVB. Okay, his Shaw brothers. Okay, he is born in China. He's the sixth of his siblings. That's why they call him Bok. So one of his siblings actually passed on.
so I cannot hear anything because
It's too noisy
people
there.
behind you are shouting. I cannot hear anything.
Sorry,
Never mind.
sorry. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, I try to speak louder.
Okay.
Okay, this Sir Ran Shaw, he has this elder sibling that actually that passed on way before him in China, and he was looking for this this brother, right, for like so long, but cannot find him. So one fine day, one of his cameramen, right, actually went out. You know, those days they will do, it's only a single camera shot, right? They will do all this location screening and all that. And he sort of zoomed into one of these grave there, right? Which is actually abandoned, a lot of grass there, but it's the brother's name, you know. So they show to Sir Roland Shaw, right? And he said, I've been looking for this sibling for don't know how many decades already.
Wow.
So it's somehow, right, it is the disease knows that you're looking for him, and he's actually using the cameraman to convey back the message to him. So when it is blood related, right, I understand, from what I understand, blood related is so much easier for them to give you dreams or give you messages.
I see.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense.
Eunice,
That's a very good example.
okay, we got to end off with your segment today because the background
please
is
mute me, because it's very loud here.
it's very very loud.
Okay.
So
I think that's a very good point. It's a good point also to end this section here. All right. So thank you very much, Eunice, for joining us, and thank you very much for introducing us to your wonderful KL wine bar. Okay, I think we definitely must do a SC gathering in KL.
Carlos is already
2 wine bars for you to hang in.
Carlos is already saying we should all go there already as a group
Elaine Chua
outing.
will be very happy. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Any last words for everybody? Any words of advice before you go?
Stay spiritual. Stay. Drink more spirits. And seriously, when you hear stories that is absurd, like you say feng shui, they give you stupid ideas. It's stupid. Don't believe. Okay. Anything that catch out Eugene.
Okay, bye.
Thanks. Good night.
Oh my.
So fun. I want to be at the wine bar now.
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
Okay. Thank you, T Clucks. Hello, new subby from California. John, your laugh is so contagious. Thank you for that. Okay. All right. I'm very fascinated. This whole okay, so I remember, right? Going back to dreams for a second. You know, I remember at my grandmother's wake. This is on my dad's side, right? And I remember my dad and his 2 brothers, and there are 3 brothers, and they were sitting around the table, right? Quite late at night, you know, eating the kwachi, right? You know, and then drinking the green tea in packets, and they were just talking, and the conversation was so casual. Okay, the way that they asked each other, has grandma visited you yet or not?
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
and they were teasing each other to say, she don't like you lah, she won't visit you, and you know, she will visit everybody else first, then no time, then she won't visit you. You know, so for my family, it was expected. You know, and when you say, oh, grandma came to me, good, okay, that means she like you.
It's very true, John, because in my family as well, within the first 7 days, all the siblings are just waiting to dream. It's a given. Like, you know, if your meeting is morbid, T Clarks and all that from the western side of the world, having such dreams may not be commonplace. But in Asia, there is a tradition and culture where when someone in your loved one pass away, you expect a dream.
Yes.
At least within the next 7 days. And if you don't dream of the person, like what John just said, you're not loved.
Yeah, or you offended the person, or you know, they're not happy with you, right? Yeah. So in a way, I mean, I guess the way I would explain it is that for a lot of Asian cultures, you know, these family responsibilities continue after death, right? Because just because you died does not mean you can be rude. When you want to leave, you must say goodbye to people. You cannot just walk out of the house without saying bye-bye to everybody in your family. Let them know where you're going, you know. So I like that idea. You know, the bond works both ways. Right? Yeah, we draw them back to us as much as they want to, you know, reach out to us. I think it's nice. But Eunice also mentioned something very interesting. She mentioned that I think with the first story or second story, I can't remember what, where some of the family had more and more of the family had become Christian, you know, or changed their faith, right, or just become modern and no longer do the rituals, and then these things become difficult because imagine a grandmother wanting to visit these dreams, but half the family are blocked for various reasons. You know how sad she must be.
There's okay. So 2 things I want to share here. Again, this is knowledge that's been passed down to me. I'm sharing with you guys. Don't crucify me if you're offended. I'm just sharing. The first one is nothing to be offended, but the first one is
Mm.
the higher the technology connection we have in this world today, the less future connection we have. Back in the days, like back when Eunice was saying in her uncle's time, her previous generation, people get dreams non-stop, having messages. My mom, my grandma, they talk about dreams from the other world, like we receive a text message. But and more spiritual masters have also said the world, as we are getting more technology connected, we are more spiritually disconnected. So we don't get that sensing, we don't get that premonition, our intuition is off. We don't no longer get messages from the other side. Now, with regards to the changing of religion, now this has been told to me by my grandma many times. Most of us Peranakan family, we are either Taoist or Buddhist Taoist or Christian Catholic. Most of us Peranakan, right? And the older generation will be Taoist lah, Pai Pai, joss stick. Ancestral worship is a thing for us. But the more modern generation will be Christian, Jesus Christ, and then no more going that side. There have been many cases where the family, after switching to Christianity, got bad luck.
Yep.
And it requires the neighbor to come and say, the neighbor uses that in most of these old blocks or kampong, the neighbor is somehow a tangki. Right? The tangki will come and say, your grandmother is trying to get in touch with you. She's very unhappy. And the worst case is sometimes when they shift house to housing board and all that, they throw the tablets under the tree. Just dispose anyhow. The kena sway, the whole family will be sway. So they say even if you want to switch to Catholic or Christianity, you must must respect the tradition. Your grandmother has not converted, you have. No?
Yes.
So you got
Absolutely.
to follow that line of ancestral worship. So in that gray area, sometimes the books say you're not allowed to do certain things. But as an Asian, we always have this gray area where we kind of overlap that. Where culture and tradition, it does not equals to religion.
Correct. I think I might have shared this before when I interviewed Taoist medium, a Taoist priest once, right? They were doing a wake under my void deck lah. Then I came down just as they were packing and he was about to leave. So he looked free. So I go and hello, chat, right? And I asked him, I said, what is it that disturbs you the most, about doing funerals these days? And he said exactly the same thing, that he has seen many families where so many of the younger generation don't believe in the same things that the older family believed in, right? The person passing. And so they don't want to do the rituals. Or they just do the funeral part, then that they're going to forget about it and they'll not follow up. They're not going to upkeep the shrine or make offerings yearly or that. The rituals will get thrown away. And he feels that it's very sad because exactly right, you may have moved on to something new, but what about those who didn't move on? And as a family member, will you not bend your rules a little bit to look after them? Right? Because it's too late for them to change their life.
All right, but then again, if the mentality, the new mindset as you adopt a new religion is the afterlife is the afterlife, and anything that comes and talk to you from the afterlife is not clean and pure, and that grandma has probably ascended to heaven, then you're not going to want to take on that tradition, because the mindset is entirely different already. So it's a bit of
It's sad. For me, it's sad. Just the idea of that grandma or that grandpa unable to reach out.
Okay, you got to read the comments. There's a lot of good comments. John.
There are a few that just flew by.
Okay, let's go up and we will go.
Okay, I searching.
There's a lot of good one. I just saw them go.
Yeah. The one I really want to highlight was Imagine Malayans, right, who gave us the first confession, says, I guess my ama came to visit us all, so she really loved us too. Absolutely, right? And you had a good conversation with her. You got full validation.
Yeah.
So that's sweet. That's totally sweet.
Ivan Sierra. My dad passed away in 2020. This early July, my mom, sister, and I went to Bangkok for holiday, and during the first night, about the timing 6 a.m., all three of us dreamt of him. Oh, that's nice.
At the same time.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
See, this kind of I like because validation. He has passed away 3 years ago. So if only one person dream of him, okay,
Yeah. Might be random.
Two, okay. Again, no coincidence. 3.
Mm,
That
yeah,
to me is not random anymore.
nice. Ghost Warrior. Ghost Warrior says, there's a supernatural phenomenon I went through. When I was 12, my grandma passed away before my eyes. But as she passed away, I heard angels calling her name.
Wow.
Wow. Did anyone else around you hear, or only you? That's very interesting. Ah, okay. Tell us more about it. Yeah. And of course, tell us, confirm if she was she Christian or Catholic, or what faith was she?
Mm. That
Um.
definitely was saying something about
Oh, okay. Yeah.
grants.
She re-clarified her story.
Mm.
Yeah. Grand said she wanted to go, but she was afraid because behind him were many certain scary figures. Okay, okay. So she was in her deathbed, but she didn't dare to go, right? Because there were scary figures.
Then
So I felt protective of her and
oh
climbed into bed with her and slept till next morning.
wow, today's confession was all one kind
That's
of
very sweet.
touching one, man.
That's very
I
sweet,
love it.
Daphne.
Okay.
That's good. That's good. Wow. Okay. I'm still searching. Wow.
Sorry, I see. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Eunice.
Rai says, I have a colleague who used to dream about his late dad who gave him lottery numbers. He bought them and struck first prize repeatedly. He showed us the tickets. Wow.
Wow.
This father is bonus. Okay, this one bonus.
Mm.
Wow. Okay, okay. There's a lot to hope for, man.
I was listening to one podcast,
Ah.
um, not podcast, sorry, one series called The Law of One, and this
Mm,
one was actually shared with me by Vishnu, and I was
mm,
really drawn into the Law of One and what it's about in a spiritual sense. Um,
mm.
long story short, Ra could be the same Ra
Yeah,
as the Egyptian god.
sure.
Apparently came down to earth many times to impart knowledge to the living.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about evolution, it talks about man and spirituality and our connection to the universe. And it's in one of the theory
Mm,
is that we in our millions of years from now,
mm,
in our evolution as a species, we are
mm,
all connected spiritually by hive mind, and
mm.
we are no longer the humans as we are.
Right.
And if you watch Netflix show 2005, 250,000 years ago, the Homo sapiens and the humans now are so very different. So
Eh, eh, eh.
let's just go with that tangent, right? A
Mm,
million years from now, we are so evolved spiritually,
mm,
and that is when they said our future
mm.
comes back to the past
Sure. Mm.
as guardian angels for us to guide us on the narrow, because this
Yikes.
lineage
Okay.
does not want to die. So if I can go back and make sure that my grandpa wins 4D so that his son or my somewhere up my great granddad doesn't suffer, so that is the concept where the very evolved and advanced version of you, the lineage,
Mm.
comes back to the past to help you guys out.
Cosmic time travel. Okay.
Yeah. So
Interesting. Very interesting. This one I must think a bit. And I must drink a bit. But okay, Anna Wong has a very interesting suggestion that I want to explore. So she asked, does that also mean that the one dying soon who desperately needs to pass messages can appear in the dream of another living person?
Ken.
Right? I mean, certainly we have heard stories of that. We've also heard of people who can send messages at the moment of death,
Mm-hmm.
right? To those far away.
Mm.
So you know about the person's passing even before someone rings you and tells you the news, right? And I think what I want to draw from this is, and link to the hive mind idea, the idea that I mean, is it very surprising to think that we are all connected psychically,
Mm.
right? Because I mean, in this day and age, come on, we are connected in every other damn way possible through technology. Is it still surprising to think that my mind and your mind can be connected through some sort of power,
Mm.
and not an app and not a device and not a cable, but some other power, because it's all about electrical signals anyway, right? So
Mm.
I feel that connection that was once called spiritual,
Mm.
right, or psychic, we have already achieved using technology.
Mm.
So why it's so bizarre that we still feel, oh, that cannot be, that is supernatural? No, it's bloody super. Every time you pick up your phone, you are connected to so many people.
Yeah.
How can you still say that we cannot contact each other with our minds.
Correct.
Right? Yeah, I think it's quite easy to do so, but we don't understand the rules of how it works. We don't understand when and how to access that energy.
And
So that's why we use devices as a proxy.
And some people say, oh, ghosts cannot text message and all that. There have been some confessions where ghosts make calls, send text messages. I'm not going to get to that because we covered that before. But talking about dreams and the dead messages from the other side. Emmeline Ang, she passed away on 30th or 31st December, car accident. She's a good friend of mine. And next day, was it the day itself? That night or something? Okay, so the timeline I cannot remember now because it's been more than 20 years, almost 20 years. But I received a call from her after her passing.
What did she say?
I didn't pick up. I did not pick up. So when I pick up and call back, I couldn't get through. And then eventually when I got the brother called me, I checked with him and said, no, cannot be because I received the call at this time. He says, no, because all her barang is put inside a Ziploc bag into a box. No one touched. So it could not have been anyone misdialed or anyone called. So I believe that the spirit tried to make connection before. Yeah.
And you still don't pick up.
I'm so busy lah. I was in the meeting.
You ghosted a ghost.
Oh.
Okay. That's why you fall down. Okay.
Yeah, SP Tan remembers the story. I mentioned this very few times, but I mentioned it before.
Yeah.
And I think one of the other confessors, so when there was no video, it was only audio, she was able to see her grandma, right, coming down, or her auntie in a portal, giving her a message that says, my item, tell my family, my item is in the safe, this. And when she revealed it, the information is all exact. Yeah.
Eunice Kwang is sharing, I dreamt of a late friend asking me to check on her mom. I called the next day. Her mom needs the chiropractor. I drove to the pet. Wow. So sending a signal to you to go and check on her mom. I love that. Yeah. Again, it's really very practical. I think once you figure out how these dreams work, it's just another sort of Singtel StarHub, right? Yeah. I think it's really amazing. Wichi Umeko shares, I dreamt of my dog after she passed. My grandparents don't have dreams, but they visited us at our house. Oh, the dog visited, you mean? Or your grandma? Wait, who visited you at your house? Oh, sorry. Confused. Okay. Please clarify. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got
so many stories. I love it.
We got one confession more to go, but before that, I've got a message for you guys. If you enjoy watching us, listening to us, do consider joining us as a Patreon. And with this little message. Thank you for listening to the Supernatural Confessions podcast. If you are enjoying the show and would like to support our efforts, you can help by giving us a 5-star review or by becoming a patron by signing up for a monthly membership fee that starts from as low as $5. Check out the perks at patreon.com/supernaturalconfessions. That's patreon.com/supernaturalconfessions. Or if you feel like showing a simple gesture of appreciation, you can buy us a cup of coffee or two at buymeacoffee.com/superconfess. And now, hello, and now we are back to the show proper. And actually, like I mentioned to John, Murali will be coming back for a short while to help me do some cleansing as well. So you guys are invited if you need cleansing for yourself. Pancha Kosha cleansing happens once every few months in Supernatural Confessions. This is meant to throw away bad luck or any entities following you. You do a cleansing, not just buy from the shop flowers. This is really, with a proper ritual, a bit of meditation, throw it into the sea. So many people have already gone through this with us. The next one is coming out on the 30th of July, which is next Sunday, early morning. If you're interested, get in touch with me. My number is 94594931, or go to our website, supernaturalconfessions.com. On the main page, you'll see a link that says Pancha Kosha Cleansing happen on the 30th of July. Go get yourself cleansed. Also, we will be having Walk with Hantu. So that will be John and myself who will be running it next Saturday. I obviously can't do it tomorrow. I'm a bit bumped up. So Your earliest ticket you can get is next week or the week after, and August as well. So, you love hearing ghost stories. Been hearing all this what we hunt to, door slamming, window slamming. Go get your own experience with us at what we hunt to. Get in touch with me 9459491. 85 per participants or 300 for a pack of 4.
Nice.
Okay. Now, the last confession that we have is sent to me by someone who choose to remain anonymous because it is very traumatizing for her. And I've recently, this story was told when she was the age of 21. She's 24 now. And I've asked for permission to discuss this story. She says, please go ahead. It's fine. When I read this story and I went through this with her, I can almost imagine, because she sent this confession in because she needed a closure. And I know how much that closure means to me when I wrote the book. And to her is, I'm just going to send you the story. Please don't ask me any question. I want to forget it. To me, is getting it off my chest to someone who believes. So Supernatural Confessions is the place for such a thing to happen. And I said, Ken, we'll share this today. And let's discuss this shortly after. John, are you ready?
Yep.
The dream started when I turned 21.
I had a life-changing paranormal experience when I turned 21. And I searched for others who had the same encounter like me. And I found Supernatural Confessions. I've listened to you guys for almost 2 years now. And after much deliberation, I've decided to tell my story. I would like to remain anonymous, please. If it's okay with you, I also don't want to further discuss my story. Much like when you wrote your book as a form of closure, after I tell this story, I will consider it my closure as well. Thank you for listening to my confession. I was having a small get together at home with some friends and family the week after I turned 21. My neighbor's son, a little boy about 4 years old, was playing in the corridor in front of my house, as he does every evening. My mum called out to him to give him some cake. The boy ran over towards my mum happily, took one look at me, halted, and his expression changed. He ran back to his house, stood behind the grill gate, and stared at us in fear. Eventually, he ran further into his room and out of sight. My mom and I exchanged glances, and then we went back to whatever we were doing at the time. The incident rattled us a bit, but I tried to put it out of my mind. My mother, however, believes that children can sense things, and she felt that the incident was not a small matter. Little did we know the horrors that were about to unfold. That night, I had a dream of this long haired black figure crawling on the walls of my room, chasing me through places that looked like empty subway stations connected to malls. I will kill your family and anyone close to you. It threatened me. I woke up crying and shivering. Even though it was just a dream, the feeling of intense fear followed me out of the dream and into the real world. I ran out of my room and I found my mom in the living room doing her morning prayers. It was 6 a.m. I told her what happened and she asked me to pray with her and then go back to sleep. Since that very first dream incident, I started sensing that figure, even when I was awake. It would come up to me, especially at night and early mornings. I cannot see it physically with my eyes, but I can get a very clear impression and understanding of what it is. It's a dark figure, badly burnt from the face and all over its body. The thing had long black hair, a badly burned body, with no recognizable body features. I can only make out long hair, burnt black hands and legs. I got the chills whenever it appeared next to me. Growing up, hearing all sorts of hantu stories from my grandparents and aunties, I knew that I should not be afraid when these things happen, because it would allow them to have a stronger hold over me. So, whenever I felt the presence coming close to me, I would gather my courage and recite prayer verses. Sometimes I would stare angrily in the general direction of the presence to show that I was not afraid. But none of that worked. Bedtime was when I was most fearful and I felt most vulnerable. I soon started developing insomnia because every night I can feel it standing by my bed, just staring at me angrily. I played prayer verses on my phone out loud every night and tried to get as much sleep as I could by facing away from where I felt their presence. But when I do fall asleep, I will be rudely awakened as if someone is strangling me. My entire body will be paralyzed. I can feel fingers on my wrist and neck during such episodes. I tried praying. I kept spiritual talismans on me, but nothing worked. The disturbances went on for a month, and it had a huge effect on my mental and physical health. At some point, I was feeling so frustrated. I was ready to just end my life to escape this nightly and daily torment. One night, I felt the presence of another entity. Again, I did not see with my eyes, but I instinctively had impressions of how it looked in my mind's eye. This new presence looked like some kind of Chinese deity wearing a gold crown or headdress. And there was also an animal that looked like a pig with him. I kept my mom updated throughout all my encounters. And after this last dream, my mom felt that just hoping the dreams were just a phase was not going as planned. She called my grandfather in India and asked if he could come down to visit me. My grandfather is somewhat of a spiritual practitioner and has, on previous occasions, helped other relatives with supernatural issues. When he saw me, the first thing he did was talk to the entity haunting me. Later on, he told my mom and me what it said. The spirit was that of a recently deceased girl, and a deity was very angry with me. I walked past an altar a month ago, apparently, and together with some friends, had been rowdy and disrespectful. Apparently, we had been laughing and walking loudly. I mean, what does that even mean? What? Walking? Anyway, a ritual was conducted to invite the deity in the altar to help that girl who had died tragically to pass over on the other side. But me and my friend's behavior had interrupted the procession and offended both the girl spirit and the deity. So the girl wanted to exact her revenge on me for ruining her chance at peace. My grandfather held peace talks with the deity and managed to appease his anger. We also had to cook a big feast as an offering for the deity and the burnt girl. Afterwards, I told my grandfather about the neighbor's boy who ran away after he saw me. And my grandfather said, huh, he must have seen the burnt lady standing behind you and got scared lah. Who wouldn't? My grandfather also told me that this incident has opened my third eye and I would sense things sometimes from now on. You would think that that story ended, right? Yes, that one did. But another one was waiting to begin. So I waved goodbye to my grandfather at the airport and he went home. I went home. The next week, I started seeing things near me, especially when I was at home. There were 12 people, and one lady was wearing a sari. She was the one who kept making herself known to me. I didn't get impressions of the features of the other 11 people, even though I knew they were there near me. My ability works like this: I get impressions of entities that want to be seen. If they do not want to be seen, I cannot sense them. I can also sense clearly those particularly strong entities, regardless of whether they want to be seen or not, be it good or bad. I also understand what the entities are trying to say if they want to tell me something. I cannot, however, see or hear with my eyes and ears. I was really frustrated because I thought my supernatural problems ended only for new ones to start. So these 12 people had a leader. I could sense him the strongest. It was a male presence. I got the impression that this entity was some kind of spiritual master, but I never saw his features clearly. I felt their presence around me during the evenings and at night from around 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. At first, they didn't do anything, just made themselves known. And then one night, the leader started telling me things. I just understood telepathically what he had to say. He told me he was waiting for me to come of age and that he wanted me for himself. He said that the stars in my fate aligned for him to take me as I turned 21. He then offered me a choice: to willingly go to him or for him to take me by force. He added that he had waited for my grandfather to take care of the previous spiritual problem so that he can have me for himself. I remember being horrified. I sat there dumbfounded, thinking, what the fuck is happening to my life? I immediately told my mom what happened, and she became really worried again. The next day, I heard the woman wearing the sari telling me that he will take good care of me and I would want for nothing and I should let him take me. I told her to leave me alone. There was no way I was going to let them do anything to me. Then they started turning malevolent, letting their presence be known to my family members. My parents would feel dark presences near them and unexplainable weird sounds now and then. At home, we all started feeling very drained and tired. My dad made mistakes at work and was reprimanded by his boss. I was feeling angry and helpless, and I lost focus on my studies. When I tried to work at home, I would feel like snakes were crawling all over me, or something heavy was pushing down on my shoulders. I even felt they were doing some rituals around me when I was sleeping. I didn't know exactly what they did, but I could understand them chanting something in my mind and doing some kind of rituals. We contacted my grandfather again and told him about these new encounters. He said that he sensed they were breaking our protections and wishing harm on me and my family. I also started to hear them in my mind, threatening to kill me, especially when I was crossing the road. Once, they even threatened to make the bus that I was traveling on have an accident. A few weeks later, my grandfather flew back to Singapore again. He talked to the entities and told me what he heard. He said the leader spirit had seen me when I was 14 or 15 years old and desired me for my looks and pure soul. He had waited for me to come of age, and now he wanted to take me. He and his minions were the reason why I never had any romantic relationships. They kept all male attention away from me. My grandfather managed to trace the origin of this group of entities and found that they lived on Kusu Island near some big tree. I do not know the details of what my grandfather did, but he visited the place with my dad and had a big spiritual fight with the group and somehow forbade them from coming near me ever again. My grandfather performed some cleansing rituals on me and gave me protective talismans as an added protective measure. From then on, I've had no disturbances, but I remain scarred from my experiences. I've even stopped watching horror movies and immediately leave a place if I feel any unnatural presence. I also try to ignore these things as much as possible.
Hmm.
Wow, this is intense.
So I asked TFQ. First thing I asked,
Mm.
how's the romantic life now?
Mm.
Right? Important question, right?
Got improvement?
Then she gave me a sad face. She says, no, still the same.
Yeah. That one you need more ritual and a different type of talisman. Mm. Wow, this is a really sort of clinging and sort of determined relationship, right? It reminds me very much of, okay, I'm revealing my age when I tell this, okay, which is immortal, by the way.
600
right?
years old.
Exactly, right? The movie Poltergeist,
Mm-hmm.
right? The essence of Poltergeist is that this little girl, because of her purity, right, has been chosen
Mm.
by this group, right? And this is a group, right? This one was slightly more than 12. I think it was a whole posse of them, right?
Mm.
And they had a leader, and the
Mm.
leader had chosen her because of her purity, right? And that's it. They would do anything and everything to get to her, and that
Yeah.
that kind of single-mindedness. Wow, I tell you, it's insane. It's insane. Wow.
One problem after another for her.
Yeah. Some more they very sneaky. They wait for the grandfather to clear the previous haunting
Mm.
so that they can have full claim on her.
Yeah.
They don't want to share with other hantu. Yeah. Wow.
So I got a feeling like after he's listening to this confession, her soul is very desirable. Because when you say, she looks good and her soul is pure, what is looking good? I mean, your physical shell does not mean anything to the spiritual
I
world.
don't think it's outer beauty.
Yeah,
I think it's something,
to me, she has a very beautiful soul, and In some books, where they say, I think in the Bible as well, the soul is the most beautiful thing. So she's probably untainted, pure, or maybe because of her time of birth, she may be very special. And I guess she is special as well because lineage-wise, right? Grandfather, quite powerful, what?
Yep.
So she is untainted, unopened. The gift has not been utilized yet. No protection, nothing. Very yummy for a lot of these spirits to come and just want to take control.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely has power in her lineage, power in her blood, right? You know, for a grandfather to go to Kusu Island and do battle, wow. And bring the father with him, so the father also knows what's going on, right?
So I believe the family all got special ability, just never share with her because I think the belief is let her live her own proper life as a normal girl.
Absolutely.
But maybe that's not the time anymore. She come of age, she needs to be able to protect herself. The family cannot be there to protect her all the time. Yeah. So what I would have suggested, TFQ, if you're listening, get yourself trained because hoping and closing your eyes and pretending that this is not going to happen and that, ignoring them is going to work. No, your case is different. You cannot do the ignore them portion. You got to be.
And we know exactly who you should go to for training. Amelia, where are you?
Yeah. There's a few interesting people I spoke to the last 2 days. Nora was supposed to come to Singapore. Nora's from UK. She's now in Hong Kong with her family. She wanted to come for our walk. But because of some vaccination document that she couldn't get through, she cannot rerouted back from Singapore.
Ayo.
So,
okay. Next time.
Yeah, Nora was like, I would love to have come down. So I bought your guys coffee. Thank you, Nora.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Lynn as well. Lynn, I'm going to meet her for a confession. Lynn has also been, she has a gift, much like TFQ. She has a gift, but she has been training. And the unfortunate thing about people with gifts, they will always have a lot of spiritual affliction. Kena left, right, center, chelat, until she started picking it up. And then she found that, hey, I'm not crazy after all. And a lot of these things that I thought I was just in my mind was not in my mind. So I'm looking forward to getting her confession also.
I mean, it's a very normal and human thing, right? If you are the only one in your school with the new Xbox, then everyone wants to be your friend, chummy, because everyone wants to use your gifts, right? So I think if you have gifts, like it or not, your life's gonna change, and I think taking control of it, and sort of mastering the gift rather than sort of running from it, then you have the power to make a choice. You can still try to sort of I won't say suppress lah, okay, but try to sort of separate that from your life. But I think you can only do that when you understand it.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. If you're clueless, then it's just like a burden. It's always a mysterious burden, right? So face it, deal with it, and then decide.
But our tonight's confessor, this guy's story is pretty awesome, okay? 11:55 is happening in 4 more minutes, okay? James Tan.
Nice.
He's probably our first confessor who cannot see, cannot feel, nothing. All his staff members was like, hey, sir, the toilet haunted. He's like, he going, I woke every day so late, I didn't see anything. And then his wife was like, hey, if people say have, then just go and, believe them lah, go and clean lah. Okay lah, Then he called somebody, then somebody was like, oh yeah, there is a spirit. So he was still a non-believer, no?
Okay.
Then in one other instance, they went on a travel trip together. Whole family had a counter. He was sleeping and snoring. So unless you're like James Tan, where you can't feel shit, right? Nothing comes close to him as well. But in fact, I think if you listen to the confession later, James Tan is not normal. He got something protecting him on. Yeah. Okay, so that's happening very soon.
Like any mortal.
Like John Lim.
Okay.
I want to read out for this Rebecca A. Pinto.
Yes.
That's a new name, Rebecca A. Pinto.
Hello, Rebecca.
When I was in primary 4, my dad, cousins, and I would go and visit my grandpa in the old folks' home. But this particular day, as my younger cousin and I were standing by his bed, I had a very bad feeling that my grandpa would leave us in 2 days' time on Monday. I didn't tell my dad instantly until that Monday morning came, and I just said to him something like, Dad, today you won't be going to work. Although you're all dressed up. My dad asked me, why do you say that? I said, because something's bad's going to happen to Grandpa. My dad asked me,
Yikes.
Dad, like what? How? I said, Grandpa's going to follow Grandma to heaven. P.S.
Oh.
My grandma passed away when I just turned 4 years and 3 months. Too young to know anything.
Ayo.
So, Rebecca,
That's-
did he eventually pass away on Monday? Because your story just ended there.
Wow. Okay, that I can imagine the dad being super creeped, especially if Rebecca had not given any sort of such indication before that she knew things. It would have been quite disturbing for him.
And the way she said it, Dad, you're not going to work today, although you're all dressed up. It's not even a question, not even a, like a hint. It's the, here's a premonition for you, Dad.
Yikes. Rebecca, why you creep out your dad? Okay, but yeah, let us know if that's exactly what happened. Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow.
Okay.
Powerful.
She
I
left
like
me
it. I like it.
hanging. Carlos.
Huh?
She left me hanging. She never tell me the ending.
Okay, we're gonna wrap up soon,
Yes.
so please let us know the ending. Otherwise, tonight we cannot sleep.
Anyway, we got 1 minute to close. Any final
Wow.
words?
I want to say that we need to learn a very important lesson from Eugene's sharing, which is that if you get a call from a friend, answer lah. They might be calling you from the other side.
Also, 28 July Prata Gathering next Friday.
Yeah.
Get in touch with Patrina, or you just give me a message and I will link you guys up.
Yeah.
I've got a closing statement for you guys. This one is from my son. Actually, he was the one who told me this. I love it.
What does he say?
You believe in ghosts? You don't believe in ghosts? Both of you are just as right. Oh, so wise, so wise. All right,
Very
guys.
good, very good.
I'll see you guys next week. No, John will not be seeing you guys next week.
Yeah, I can't join you guys for the prata, but please have a lot of fun. Okay. And for those of you who are coming with us on the 25th for the Shaw movie preview of Talk to Me, can't wait to see you all. I know for many of them, it's their first time catching a movie with the Ghost Mortem gang. Okay. If you missed out, never mind. There'll be more. I hope.
No, like Exorcist coming. I already choked already. I told Shaw we want to book the whole cinema.
Okay, good. So yeah, see you guys on the 25th in my case, and then everyone else have a great time eating prata. Oh, John looks like he's singing KTV. Thank you. Okay, because my cat is jumping around and I don't want my mic to fly away. Okay.
Anyway, thank you guys for all your kind donations and get well soon messages for me today.
Yes.
I hopefully will get well very soon. Next Tuesday, I'm gonna go for a checkup again. I think my teeth and all that needs major reconstruction, so it's gonna take a while. I might be speaking like that with lips for some time to come.
I think you can only drink prata gravy on the 28th.
Oh shit.
Somebody bring a blender and we blend the prata for him. Okay.
Ow. All right, guys. Good night, and we'll see
Okay.
you. Go straight to our YouTube channel right now, where James San is talking about his supernatural non-experiences. Good night, everybody.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
What did you find?
You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.